Commencing autopsy 3. Time, 21:04. 27-year-old female, infected with unknown pathogen. Blood analysis indicates virus. Provisional name is PAX-12. Deceased had traveled in China before returning home 2 weeks ago. That must have been pre-quarantine. Unknown if had contact with livestock, but I can definitely see evidence of insect bites. Deceased had reported coughing and sneezing with a high fever. I'm seeing a nasty rash, some abscesses around the abdominal cavity. Clear signs of immune suppression. Cause of death appears to be catastrophic organ failure. Findings match reports coming out of China. This is highly concerning. The deceased may still be infectious. I'm halting the autopsy in order to notify the authorities. Request a full lockdown of this facility. Effective immediately.
Hello everyone and welcome to Plague Inc. Evolved here on Touchy Elf. I am Abigail and this is a game that I really like to play inside my spare time and I've gotten fairly good at it. I've unlocked up to the Nexus worm, so we will be playing it eventually, but we're going to be starting with bacteria. So this is our little bacteria, and I have a very hilarious name already picked out for it. So we're going to come in here and we're going to modify our genetic code. Now these modifiers allow it so that way it makes it easier for us to kill everybody. So this ATP boost gives us more DNA at the beginning, but I'm not too worried about it since it's a bacteria. So we're going to do this surge, which will give us more DNA when popping orange DNA bubbles. If this doesn't make much sense, don't worry, I'll explain when we actually get into the game. So now we have Darswit, and this increases our chance of our plague mutating. This decreases our chance, and then there's Genetic Mimic, which makes our plague harder to cure. So we're going to be doing this one. Tricyte is the only one that I have unlocked here, and it makes it so that our plague or bacteria will spread faster on land. I do not have any environment genes yet. And this is evolution genes, so this one causes to devolve, don't increase. So when we decide we want to de-involve our bacteria, it will not cost more the more times we do it. I like this one because it gives us bonus DNA when we de-involve. So we'll be able to reuse that DNA later. So we are I'm going to play it on normal basically to show you how the game works. Maybe later I'll play it on brutal and mega brutal, but I don't think I'm quite good enough at the game in order to play it on these settings. I normally play it on casual because I really like casual. Like for example, the casual is for new players who are wanting a quick game. So no one washes their hands. Research doctors don't work, and sick people give hugs. In normal, 67.3% of people wash their hands. Doctors work 3 days a week, and sick people are ignored. So PAX-12 is the default name given to all of your viruses and plagues, but since this is February, I'm going to name it Love. Because, it's February, the month of love, although I think Valentine's Day is next week, but I want to name it this. It'll be funny. I'll get a kick out of it. So, welcome to Plague Inc. You are a new bacteria. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humans in the ultimate plague. Select Start Location. Select a country to begin your plague. When you click on it, you'll see more information and a pop-up bubble. Okay, so this is the world map, and normally with a bacteria, I will start in India because they have borders, they have a port, and they also have an airport. But I also find myself starting inside China and Kazakhstan quite a bit because, well, Kazakhstan is a poor country and it's also arid. But since our virus will spread more on landlocked areas, keeping it close to the land will be really good. And also, a poorer country would also be a really good idea too, because it means that that country is not going to have that much money to do plague research. So this is humid, hot, and has livestock. So we're going to start in India. Love begins in... Okay, I'm sorry. Love has infected its first human, weak, but used to hot temperatures. It must evolve using DNA points to affect more people. So how we get those is that we click these red circles, and then we get DNA points. Now, one of the genes I did show you was one that gave us extra DNA. So... yeah, I didn't do that one in order so that we could get more later. So, tip, pop the orange DNA bubbles to get DNA points. Pop orange DNA bubbles when they randomly appear to get bonus DNA points, which you can use to involve your disease. I'm gonna go ahead and turn down the music a little bit. Love begins to spread. Love is spreading from person to person in India and will grow exponentially. You control the plague indirectly by involving it. So, we're going to go ahead and pause real quick, and I'm going to walk you through this. If we click India and open this up, a little thing that will pop up that will show us a bit about the country, like its traits, and where people are more infected. It'll tell us how healthy people are with our status, and how much are infected, and how much are dead. Over here in government, it'll tell you what the government has banned, and whether or not if the government has fallen or not. For a cure, they'll show us how much money they're spending on researching for a cure, and what their research ranking is. So right now, we only have 20 people infected. So if I click anywhere inside the world, it'll go back to the world, and when we click it, it'll tell us how many countries we haven't infected yet, and how many that we do have infected, and how many countries are completely wiped out. Our map currently shows mostly all blue with a little bit of red. So blue are all the healthy countries, red are the ones that are infected, black are the ones that are dead. Then we can toggle on and off places. Like if we just want to see all the cold countries, we can click this and see what they are, and so forth and so on. I don't really get too fancy over here. Right here tells us where the key research contributors are, and the status for the researching the cure, and how close they are for doing that. This tells us how many borders are closed, how many ports are closed, and how many airports are closed. So, anyways, the love has not been noticed. So, again, if we go here, if we click this, it'll just show us that again, but more emphasis on the researching status. If we click here, the real fun begins. Again, we see our little bacteria just floating around. It has all of its little traits that boost it up. It tells us when it started, so it started January 2nd of this year, which, fun fact, is when I'm recording this. Our starting location is India, where bacteria, normal, and just, basic stuff. The trend on how we're doing, our evolutionary history. Transitions, we can spin points on how we can grow more, so I'm going to involve that we can be transferred from livestock. Over here in symptoms, we can adjust what our disease can do. So right now we can do only small things like coughing, have Chris, evolved anemia, rashes, vomiting, and insomnia. This will increase our severity, and depending on what we pick, like if we do coughing, it'll also increase how we our efficiency at infecting people. Over here in abilities, we can evolve in order to make it so that we can resist cold temperature. And right here is bacterial resilience. So it makes it so that way we can combat all climates. So we'll go ahead and snag that. And now we have no more DNA to use, so we must get back into the world, and we'll go ahead and speed it up. You have successfully involved love. And then it tells us to press more, hit more of the bubbles. Okay, country information, we already know that. Love infects hundreds. Harry Potter reboot considered. Okay, and there's also a bank crisis because of murder of technical error. But that sounds interesting. What's this? Considered. Harry Potter. So they're considering to make a Harry Potter reboot in 2018. That's interesting. Maybe in it they'll spell Voldemort's name correctly? Festival of Love in India. India celebrates the Festival of Love. Fans praise the replacement for International Kissing Day. Critics question hygiene standards. Okay then. So love is infecting thousands. Pause. So what we can do is we can go to our transfer and we can... I think it's over here actually. No. Okay, wait. Yes. So, no, it's not coughing. Okay, nausea will allow it so that way if people are kissing, we can infect the person that they're kissing. We're also going to adjust this so we can start traveling about through the air and water. We'll also go over here and we're going to call that good for now. Okay, insomnia symptom mutated. Love has mutated and developed the insomnia symptom without using DNA points. This is normal. It will occasionally do that on its own periodically. And since it's just insomnia and not something like, oh, I don't know, critical organ failure, complete organ failure, it's okay, so we'll go ahead and let it ride. If I decide that I didn't want it, we would go and de-evolve it. So love has spread to the UK. And we get bonus points when we move. It looks like we're moving very quickly across multiple, so I'm going to go ahead and slow down So we're infecting more countries. We're going to slow down our speeder. Love has affected more people in the world than TB. It is a very infectious disease. So if we go here, the world still has not noticed a love. They probably will start noticing. More infectious than hive. So we are extremely infectious. So that means a lot of people are coming down with love. So medicine in UK is slowing our infection. We got one of the islands. Minor disease spreading. So now the world knows that we are here, and I think it's funny. It's a normal checkup. A doctor in India found a new disease which has been named love. It appears to be mostly harmless, but must be investigated further. Other countries are also reporting this disease. So let's go ahead and work on this a little bit more. We're going to go ahead and get birds, because eventually they're going to close up airplanes and we're going to need birds. So, symptoms. Let's go ahead and get a coughing and a sneezing. Let's also go ahead and get vomiting. And then we'll get drug resistance. That way it is a little bit harder to cure us. So the World Menu continues to have useful data, and we're spreading into Africa. Since Africa is mostly landlocked, I do not have any doubts that we will not... I forgot. But anyways, India starts work on the cure. India is first to instruct doctors to begin research onto a cure for love. Without greater funding, it is expected to take a very long time. So if we go in here, we are 0%, and it says 135 years and 220 days until completion. So the cure is expected on December 3rd, 2154. Because right now, it's just India that's researching our little plague. So let's jump back in here and see what else we can do. I'd like to get a few more symptoms. Paranoia, people on cold climates are especially vulnerable. That's actually a really good idea. Let's go ahead and get these two, which will make it a little bit easier for us to start spreading. We'll finally get Russia and whatnot. Next chance we get, I'm going to go in and spend a lot more points on... Oh my good gravy, pause. We're going to get more points on spreading. Love has mutated and developed the immune suppression system without using DNA. So, is that good? Immune suppression, that's this one. Okay, if it cannot mutate total organ failure just yet, so we're going to de-involve it so that it doesn't risk getting that just yet. And we're going to continue working on this. Let's go ahead and do air. And we'll also do rats. That way, with rats, it spreads more in urban countries. And oh my goodness, look at all the points. We are moving. More infectious than the common cold. I think we've pretty much covered everything. Maybe except for the Caribbean, but we'll get there eventually. Phenomia symptom mutated. Love has mutated and developed the phenomia. I cannot talk. So let's open that up. Look at that. It looks like it's that one. Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and start safeguarding our future a little bit and get paranoia. We'll also go ahead and get this, which will make it just a little bit harder for them to figure out how to cure us. And let's continue working on our spreading abilities. Go ahead and get another bird. And we'll also get insects on our side. And that's all we can do for now. India shuts down airports. India has become the first country to try to limit the spread of love by limiting access into and out of the country. Time will tell if this will work. Since we're pretty much everywhere, I don't think it will. We got you, New Zealand and the Caribbean. Okay, we are infecting most of the world now. Okay, so we got the inflammatory symptom now. That's good. First death in West Africa. First death from love has been confirmed in West Africa. Bad luck or the beginning of something terrible? Guess it depends on how you look at it. For me as the player, I'm quite happy with this development. Okay then, so we've almost got the entire world infected. So let's go ahead and go in here. We're going to go ahead and add seizures and insanity, because it'll make it a lot harder to work on curing us. And then we'll go ahead and get this, and then next chance we'll get that. Symptoms transformation. Let's also go ahead and get blood, because then this will allow it to spread more inside poorer regions. Love placed on watch list. Love has been placed on the WHO watch list. Already dangerous, governments are warned that it could become unstoppable. Love has mutated and developed the dysentery symptom without using DNA. Egypt leading global cure effort. Egypt has started to send research teams to infected countries, hoping to speed up development of a cure for love. Pop blue bubbles to destroy their research. So we can do that. And invite the cure. Yep, I got it. Not my first time playing this. Okay, I think we need to become just a smidgen more deadly. Let's see here. Significantly harder to cure. Significantly harder to cure. Global research is focusing on a cure, and we have officially killed more people than the Black Death. Which brings me to something that I kind of want to mention. Have you heard the little girl singing inside the background, ashes, ashes, and we all fall down? You probably recognize that as Ring Around the Rosies. And it is right. We've got Rash now. Which is right. It is Ring Around the Rosies. We've killed more than smallpox. But the reason why I'm mentioning it is that Ring Around the Rosies was actually written during the time of the Black Death. It actually describes it and how some people would use posies to block their faces from the smell of the people who were dying around them. So love, killing very fast. People are dying in Iceland faster than people are being infected. Okay, so we have now mutated another symptom. Stop trying to cure me. Projectile vomiting symptom combo. Coughing and vomiting are causing the infected to projectile vomit, increasing the efficiency of love. Oh, what a funny sentence. %. I need more DNA points. Yeah, I need more DNA points. I can... How many do I need? Ouch. Rich countries become more vulnerable. That's for spreading. Okay, we're just gonna have to hope that it involves total organ failure on its own. So when's a cure expected? Next year. December 22nd, just before Christmas. It looks like we have infected every country, but we are doing a terrible job in killing them off. They're removing Siberia is removing safeguards for experimental cure for love is lethal. Experimental cure for love has been found to be 100% lethal in humans. WHO researchers say that this setback will damage cure efforts. So we're pretty much just waiting. Iran shuts down. Okay then. Central Europe is in anarchy. Central Europe is first to fall into anarchy due to love. No cure research can take place. That's good for us, if only that'll happen with Egypt. Looks like Germany, UK, and Finland are also key research contributors. It's just Egypt that is leading the cause and trying to bring research places, and all but 4 boundaries are locked, so we pretty much have the entire world scared. Let's see. Cure, 75% complete. Lovely. Drug-resistant abilities can slow the cure. Yep, I know, I'm working on that. Total organ failure symptom mutated. Good. So now people will start dying much faster. Okay, so now we should have enough to go to our abilities, drug resistance, and shuffle. That should set them back quite a bit. Still 81%, but at least now we have another year. Expected cure inside 2020. Greenland executed infected people. Greenland has executed a group of people with love to prevent infection. They don't have any uninfected people anymore. We might just lose this. That'll be sad. I wanted to show how good I was at it. Well, not like I have said, I'm not the best player of this game. I just mostly play it for fun. So if we lose, that's fine. We'll just have to play another round of a different kind of virus that I'm good at. And we were defeated. Love killed all its hosts. Some healthy people survived. Not a lot, though. Not a lot of healthy people survived. So this is really cool. I was actually going to do something with this that would have looked like a news thing, talking about the spread and how we barely survived and all of that. But I probably won't. So this is actually really cool. It tells us our score, so our time. We survived for 774 days. We were genetically complex. Cure progression was 79%, so they were focusing on the cure a lot more than I thought. Game type, main game. Plague type, bacteria. Difficulty, normal. Our score is 69, so that's a bronze. And I absolutely love this. My bacteria called Love just died out in 774 days. And then you can email it, tweet it, or Facebook it. Probably won't do any of that, but it's really funny. I think it's really funny. So this is what the world looks like after we are done. Looks like most of Russia survived, Canada, Greenland, Iceland. So, yeah. That was very fun. We did a really good job, all things considered. I mean, we almost had everyone. I should have worked a little bit more on spreading it and not trying to kill people off. But we almost had everyone infected, so... Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and stay in touch. Goodbye!